Hi guys, it's Jeanette Vilda. So we're going to do some playing around with wax seals again, and I've got two projects that I want to work on. One, I have a prototype here. I really like how it turned out. The other, I haven't actually tried yet, so we're going to try it together and play with it. Excuse me. The first one is a wine glass charm. And you may or may not recognize this particular wax seal. I made this one when we were reviewing the different new wax seals that I got from Craspire. And it turned out really, really well. And what I did was painted over the debossed pieces that you can see here with a marker. Now the one that I used is this. It's Marabou liquid chrome. Sorry, not Marabou, Molotow liquid chrome. I really, really like this marker for getting massive shine, and the reason I chose it was because I wanted to put it on this charm. So I wanted the silver to really carry over into how I colored the embossing. And so this is what we're going to make first. Now you can get wire charm, wine charm circles. I don't know what they call them. You can purchase those on Amazon, whatnot. I don't have any, and since I happen to have these little guys and they haven't been used, I thought, why, buy some more stuff? I happen to have these on hand. These are just these little clips, and I happen to have a bunch of these nice little tiny ones which work perfectly for a wine charm. So I simply made my seal that was made before, popped a little hole in it, put on a nice little guy here, and we have a wine charm. Now, of course, this can also be used to be a charm on anything. You could actually use this as a nice pendant for a necklace. If you're a journal maker, it can be a nice little drip, as Mrs. Cogg says on your book. So basically, you're making a pendant. It can be used any way a pendant can be used. Also, would be neat to have a hole here and a hole here, and then you could make a bracelet. Oops, I have that out of frame. Alright, if I had a hole here and a hole here, I could then attach it to a bracelet. Now, this is not going to last forever. I mean, obviously, it's a wax seal. Depending on the type of wax that you use, and you're just going to have to play with that. All waxes are not created equally. Determines how pliable your wax seal is. But this one, as you can see, it's pretty good. So we're going with that. So I've got some wax going on in here. Got my little toothpicks. I added a little bit of gold to some red wax. I'm just going to give that a tiny bit of a swirl because I don't want it to really mix. I want the gold to just kind of swirl in there. I got my silicone mat. Now I want to really make a nice, you know what, I'm going to not pour because I don't think that is enough. I want a nice thick. As you can see, this one's kind of thick. It's got some real good ridges on the sides. It's got a decent thickness. I want a lot of wax because this is needs to be durable. I don't want it to be super thin. So let me see. This little guy, this one is way thin. And yeah, that's not going to last very long. It's also not very big, so I can't put a hole on it. So, alright, let's see where we go. My candle does not want to be burny, so it's not wanting to melt, so we'll pause a bit while we wait for that to melt. Okay, so as you can see, what I did was I actually poured out some of the wax from my tea light. It was over in waxing and it was just not wanting to stay lit, so I just poured some of it out. Again, this is a silicone mat, not a problem. Alright, so now let's see. Do I have enough still? Man, it's still not looking like a lot. Let's put a nice big chunk in there. Let's see what we got there. And we'll pause again and let that melt. Okay, we finally have enough wax. Gonna give that another swirl. Ooh, that's gonna be so pretty. That dark red wax with that gold wax. All right. Let's pour this sucker out. I'm slightly off camera, aren't I? Sorry about that. Come on. My candle died just as it finished melting, so I'm having a hard time getting all of that out of there. Now again, just let your wax stamp, just let gravity take it in. Oh, gorgeous. Sorry about that. All right. Let me pull this up a bit so we can see this. There we go. And now we just let her sit. While that is sitting, I'm thinking this candle is just not, it is just done. So we'll set that to the side and put in another candle. These are really, really cheap candles, which probably explains a lot. So what I'm trying to do is I want each one, the colors to be fairly different. So this one was all gold, this one's red and gold. Let's see, I've got, what I want is, let's see here. I'm gonna use some really, really red. And wow, okay, let me turn that off because it's just gonna keep beeping at me apparently. Okay, we're muted. So got a bunch of colors. I just keep them in this little guy. And I'm going to use this really, really red. Red. I'm going to try and, I'm going to get out a little bit more of this. Let's try and get rid of some of it. Now I happen to have randomly just a teeny tiny little metal stamp, so we'll just not waste that wax, so we'll just use that. And now I'm going to drop in this red. And while we're at it, we can, so like what I said, I like to kind of feel around the edges. If you put your finger there and it kind of, or you get a fingerprint, then it's definitely not ready to come up. But I can feel it. It feels very cool. Ooh, pretty. And now we can peel that off, and there's our stamp. That's gorgeous. Now all I do is, like I said, I have this Molotov liquid chrome. Give this a good shake. I'm going to take a piece of paper. If I can get the piece of paper. Come on. Be nice to me, dude. There we go. And just prime it, make sure it's working real good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and stick to the raised surface. It's pretty easy. Especially if you have a large head on your marker. The smaller heads might slip down and go into the crevices. You go real slow, no problem. And if you have something that has large surface area on the debossed piece, then it's also pretty easy with a smaller one. But I have tons of different sizes of the liquid chrome because I use it a lot. And so this nice big one. So that's all colored in. And now it just needs to dry. Ooh, pretty. So we'll leave that to the side. Looks like our red is going good. I'm going to drop in again a gold. And let that swirl around. Add to that red. So I'm just going to make a bunch of the same one. It's just this little cat on a tree limb with some little roses around him. Again, this would be perfect for a romantic evening, you know, because even though that is a little cat, it has a very Halloween-y feel. You could also make it very romantic for just about anything. All right. So we pour. Ooh, that's pretty. That's real pretty. That might have been a bit much, but that's okay. Oh wow, yeah, that was a bit much. So I got overzealous. Let's check this little guy. It's just it's a cute little envelope. And this was given to me as a gift from a friend, so I do not know where it came from. Sorry about that. But I like to use it whenever I'm getting rid of some wax. It makes a cute, teeny weeny little seal. It's just if you can't, oh, don't do that. Oh. If you can't see it, it's a little envelope. Try and get that where it will focus. It's a little envelope with a little heart on it. That's all that is. That's going to take a while. All right, let's do the same thing. Try and get rid of some of this excess wax. That was a slightly bigger pile, but we'll use this little guy again. He's pretty cute. There we go. Get rid of that. All right, so I think I want to make one more, although that's gigantic, so I might might end up making another one of that one. I think Halloween. Of course, I don't know how it's going to mix with that color, so maybe not. Let's go with the orange. No, actually, let's do this copper color. Yeah, that'll work. This real gorgeous copper color. You can see that. So, get that in there. That one's going to take a while. It was kind of thick. It'll definitely still work as one of my little charms, but it's a bit big in comparison. All right, so while we're waiting for that to melt, we're going to make this into a little charm. So all I use, and you don't have to use this, any punch you have. I happen to have one of these little crocodiles from We Are Memory Keepers, and I don't know how well I can get this into screen and have you see it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hole right above the little kitty. And I'm using the 1/8 hole punch. Boy, that guy's right in the way. I'm not worrying too much about where it's at, just as long as it's right above the kitty. Perfect. Like I said, any hole punch that you have, just remember it's possible it might gum it up a bit with the wax. After you're done, make sure you punch a bunch of paper with it. So now I've got a nice little hole, and then all I have to do is put in my little guy here. Nothing too much about that, too special about that. It's just got a big wad of wax here at the top, so that's going to make this a little bit difficult. So I got to work around that. Okay. And since this is pretty tight on there, I'll probably add another one. And for some reason, my candle is really going berserk there, so I'm gonna. Okay, he's done. Transfer to this one. Ooh, that turned out real good. That'll be neat. Ooh, wow. That came out pretty cool. Pretty cool. So I don't know if I'm probably not going to use this for one of my charms, because the problem is not that it's, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous as a wax seal, so it ain't going nowhere. But as you can see, so the thickness around the edges here will make it even more difficult. So I had the thickness right there where at the top of the kitty. Makes it a little hard to put the chain thing on there. So this one's even thicker around it. So this will make a really great seal for a paper, but not as good for this particular project. Let me take this little guy off. Oh, he's so cute. Put that to the side and get rid of all this wax and do the same thing. Hard to get out of because I blew out my candle. But this guy is so tiny. Doesn't take much. There we go. Alright, so that, again, that's going to take a while. Hopefully where this not much is where the top of the cat is. But so anyways, once you've got your little guy on there, like I said, this one I probably will add another one. Just because it's so tight on there. And I can easily slip this into it. But I'm not going to be able to, there. So I'm not going to be able to slip one of these guys onto it. It's a little bit thicker. But that is fine. Ooh, why are you being mean to me? There we go. And so now he's ready to be put on one of my little binder clips, or I don't know, what do you call these little circle rings, binder rings. And then that can clip around the base of, ooh, look at that back, gorgeous. That can fit around the base of your wine glass. Also makes a neat little keychain. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep, let's see, this guy's good. Let's see how he turned out. Ooh. Oh, yep. Little kitty's in the wrong spot, but I might be able to salvage that with a larger ring. But like I said, none of these are going to go to waste because they all get used somehow, even if it won't be in this particular thing. So it's, like I said, every time you work with wax, you get a little bit more used to the wax itself. So some of this wax is stuff I haven't used in a while, or haven't used at all. Ouch. Also the seal, as to how much it's going to need to give you what you want and also work the way that you want it to work. So it's a trial and error. This one worked perfectly. This one, these two not so much, but I might be able to make this one work because it's got some, I might, you know, just put the charm over here instead of over here where this is a little thinner. And that'll work. Kitty doesn't have to be exactly the right way up. And so there we have it. So those are our little keychains. So I'm going to change things out and we're going to do the next project. Okay, so this is the second project we're going to do. Got these little webs, and this is just cardstock. I think it's about 300 grams cardstock. And I just used a die that I had to cut them out. So I have these cute little webs. I have some black ones. And then this is kind of a silver shiny card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some seals for my Halloween envelopes. And I'm going to use my blank. So take off my kitty cat. I'm going to use my blank. It's just a blank oval, so there's no stamping on this. It's just blank. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a little bit of glitter with clear wax. So you can see we got some clear wax going. It has, I think it has maybe like a little bit of a yellow sheen to it, but it's pretty much just clear wax. so you'll be able to see right through it. So what I'm going to do, and this isn't any special, it's just, I think it's Recollections glitter, not any special purchased glitter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shake a little bit on my web. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. Let me see. Let me pause for a second. See if I can't zoom in a bit. No, that's about as zoomy as I can get. So I put a little bit of glitter on there. Now what I'm going to do is pour my wax over. Oop. Not too much. And then in goes my seal. Now what that's going to do is the wax is of course going to seal to the paper, and it's going to seal in all of that glitter. So let me add some more wax to my guy here. Okay. Now let's do one of the white ones. See how that works. Let's see. Let's use the orange glitter on the white one. And I haven't done this before, so this is a trial. Just want to see if it would work, and it sounded very pretty in my mind. Let's see how we do. Get this to melt over here. This one seems to melt pretty fast, so that's good. I'm going to leave that as long as possible. I have no idea how long that's going to... Oh, it feels pretty good, actually. Let's see. What do we have? Let go. Alright, maybe it doesn't want to go yet. It's holding on pretty tight. Of course, I haven't worked with this wax before. Ooh, bottom looks kind of neat. So I don't know. Oop, there we go. Oh, that's pretty cool. So I have my little wax seal in my web, and there's a little bit of glitter in there. Looks pretty cool. I like that. So let's do that to this guy. I'll use a little bit less this time. A little bit more than that, a little bit less. There we go. Blow out my candle. I see, I think I can... Don't really want to use... Well, let's go ahead and see how this looks. So I want to use up that wax, and there's quite a bit in there, so I think I can make another one. So rather than add the glitter, I'm just going to use my kitty cat. Let's see how that looks. There's not quite that much in there. So I don't know how much that's going to come through. We'll see how that looks. That'll be neat. So now what I can do is when I make my envelope, add a little bit of glue to the back, and down it goes. And that will seal up my envelope, because I am going to be handing these off, so I'm actually going to seal it. And then I'll make a really neat seal for my Halloween envelope. Kind of looks like a web, or sorry, it does look like it's a web, but like webby fiber, you know, that you can get to decorate. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's cool. Alright, let's see here. That one feels cool to the touch. Ooh, I like that a lot. Now the glitter is not overly showing through, as you can see, which I personally like that. What you could do if you want to have more, and actually let's go ahead and do that. Let me turn my light my tea light back again. And let's do, because I do have a bunch of webs that I want to do. So let's do another one. This time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a white one again. And let's use the green glitter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some down. And yes, there's still green or orange glitter on my, oh, is this one not, that one's not open. So rather than mess with that, let's go with the gold. Yeah, the gold is open. So I'm going to put some down. That came out a bit much. And then when I pour the wax, right before I add my stamp, I'm going to add a little more glitter to it. You can do this with glitter. You can do it with seed beads. That's really cool. Once you pour the wax, add little bits of seed beads before you stamp. Other thing I have used is, I don't know if you can see this very well because my camera wants to flame out with the light, but there are gold flakes. So when I poured the wax right before I stamped it, I added little gold flakes to the wax and then did my stamping. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to let this melt, and that's pretty good, good enough. And get my wax, my glitter ready. So I can immediately pour the glitter on there. A little bit of glitter. Oh, that was a bit much glitter. And then down goes our stamp. All right, let's see how this one with the kitty did. Oh, actually, that is really cool. Blow out my lamp. And there's, I'm just gonna use my little baby seal for that last little bit of wax. There goes my baby. So this, I'm gonna use my, oh, here it is. Since this has the raised image, I'm going to go ahead and go in here and color that up with my marker again. And I need to prime this guy again. There we go. There we go, much better. Now Craspire has a whole set of markers for painting your wax seals after. And I personally really love to paint them in because sometimes they can't, especially really intricate ones or with a complex seam to them, they can be very hard to see just as they are. That turned out really cool. I'm liking that a lot. Alright, let's see how this glitter one did. There was a lot of glitter. I don't think he's... yeah, that's okay, actually. Get that up. Slow, because this one really wants to... I don't know if it's the wax, but... Ooh! Oh, that came out really cool. Got a little bit much... Oops. A little bit much on the glitter. Kind of a bit of a... right in it. But that looks pretty cool. And so now you have the glitter that is peeking through like it is in these ones, and these. And this one you have much more concentrated visible glitter. And then we made this little guy that has our little kitty cat on it. And I stuck my finger in my paint before it was dried. That's okay. So there we go. So like I said, if I take my envelope, and I have this pathetic little envelope here, but as you can see, I can take my little guy and I can glue it on, and that is going to seal my envelope. And that's going to look really cool on my invitation. Let's look at these different ones. Of course, that would be much better on a black envelope because you really can't see that at all. And that's why I made some white ones, because I'm going to make some black envelopes, some white envelopes. Doesn't that look cool? That little touch of glitter in there. And like I said, you could use the mica flakes. I don't know if that makes it easier to... Nope, doesn't make it any easier to see. Mica flake seed beads. All kinds of funness you can add into your wax before adding the seal. And I like the blank stamp simply because, you know, I really want the web to show through. And the blank stamp allows me to do that. Now, not that this isn't that is gorgeous, but really now your emphasis is on the kitty cat. And the web is, you can't see it quite as much. So that's what makes these blanks really useful. Another thing you could do is like a flower, maybe like an orange, dark orange flower right on the web just before stamping. That would look really, really cool too. So lots of ways. And I mean, think of, you know, the different dyes that you have available in your stash. Little webs, flower dyes would look really pretty. Doing the same thing, putting the wax on. Like I said, I like the clear wax again because you can really see through and see the web there. That's why I don't like quite this much because I got the glitter, came out really fast, and so you can't see the web quite as well through the glitter. But there you have it. So those are our two projects. We have our wine charms and our little web seals, getting ready for our Halloween party. Actually get this into frame since I zoomed it a bit. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got questions, comments, leave them down below, and definitely go check out Craspire. I have a coupon down in the description for you. And yeah, definitely they have, so far I've been amazingly impressed with their wax seals. The impressions are gorgeous. They're so debossed. I mean, I think that's one of the most amazing debossing or debossing on a wax seal I've seen. So definitely recommend them. All right, guys. See you later. Hope you had fun. Bye-bye.